Hello, and good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the Copilot Show. My name is Mahesh Chand. I'm your host, founder of CSharpCorner, which is now csharp.com. I hope some of you have checked out csharp.com. Check out we have a new home now. The URL, csharp.com, still same old C Sharp Corner, but we have new UI. Sarthak, welcome to the show. Um, you are It's midnight there. I'm surprised you guys are still awake. And yeah, the time is messed up because right now I am in San Diego, which is 3 hours behind East Coast. That means it's really late in India right now. I think it's 12:30 midnight. So sorry about that. Next week we will be back on the same time, East Coast, for 2 weeks, and then I'm back in India on March 10th. So from that rest of the episodes we will do from India. So that will be good. All right. So let's get started. So today, I don't know if you guys watched some of the last episodes. So goal is with Copilot show is every week we talk about one of the key features. And today we are going to talk about documentation using Copilot. So how many of you, I'm sure many of you have to write documentation while working a project, leading a team, or especially if you are an architect or senior level, you always end up writing code. As a developer, also, I always ask when you start coding, you start with documenting at least start with the commenting your code, right? Code comments are one of the key things. And the reason you want to comment the code with details is that, especially in the large projects, large enterprise projects, that if some new member joins, either adding new features, fixing bugs, or even you go back. Sometimes I wrote code and I go back and I don't remember. So the writing commands in the code helps. So that's one part. Second part is documentation. Like, I think many teams don't have documentation because the writing documentation takes a lot of time and nobody has time. So now with Copilot can actually help create amazing documents for the entire projects or any part of the code you like. It can also write articles and blogs. So say you want to publish an article in say C Sharp Corner, and you have amazing code and you want to write an article, you can use Copilot to write most of your article, and then you can modify it, look like so it's not 100% written by Copilot, but that's allowed. So if you have a code, you have written a code, and you just want to use Copilot to write the article for you, you can use that and publish it. But you cannot just go and write everything by AI in Copilot, including code, right? So reality is, I think in coming time, a lot of code and majority of common easy code will be written by AI. So there's nothing we can do about it. So yeah, again, welcome to the show. If you have any questions, feel free to ask questions here. If you have comments, please let us know. How are you using Copilot? If you like it, is it saving you time? Just chime in and post your comments here. So let me share my screen here. So as you can see my screen now, I will switch to Visual Studio. So I have Visual Studio here, just a simple application I created just for, this Copilot show. And as you can see that there's no comments here in my code right now. So we will think about three things today. Today we're going to talk about, number one is commenting the code using Copilot. Number two is writing a little bit overview about the code using Copilot. And third thing we will do is write a blog or article about this code. And it's almost like a complete article or blog if you want to write on your personal blog or C Sharp Corner. Those are the three things I will cover in this today's show. So as you can see, I have Copilot installed here, GitHub Copilot. Obviously, you have to have an active subscription. If you don't, you will not see this green sign. If you want to know how to do that, my first episode covers that, how to get set up GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio. So I'll just go and launch Copilot here. See, I will say, can you comment this code? It's simple command. You don't have to be really fancy about it. All I'm asking is, can you comment this code? Simple. And what Copilot does is it actually reads my entire code, and then it suggests that these are the suggestions it's thinking to add comments to, right? So it's simple comments. So I will do is accept changes. When you accept changes, as you can see, it just comments very simple how I would do as a programmer coder, like, okay, create a list to store author objects, right? Populate the author objects. So this is a simple comment. It commented my code, very simple. What every developer would do usually. Everything else is very like this. Everybody can understand that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually ask Copilot to do more. Can you write detailed comments about this code so a new programmer or new team member can understand what this code does and what is its purpose. So now this is a little bit more than, you don't even say, I just said write, I don't have to make it question mark. Please write detailed documents. So now I'm asking it to write a little bit more, not just the comments. And you can see it's already writing the details of the entire code. And I can preview it, right? So okay. So yes, maybe as you can see that I'm going to copy this from here from my suggestions, and I'll open a Word document and let's see what it does. Oh, what happened here? It didn't copy. That's strange. All right, I'll just say for accept for now, right? Didn't work. It did not work. Let me see. I'm going to ask it again. So sometimes, yeah, this is a, please write a detailed explanation of all code blocks so new member in the team can understand what this program does. All right, so let's do this again. So what it does is, as you can see, it's writing a detailed explanation of the entire code here. So it's start with actually certain, let's go through the code, start by importing necessary namespace. So it actually starts from very early. Why are we using namespaces? Now it says we are creating author class in the program. Author class has, properties. It has a main method. What does main method? Is a for loop. It explains everything, right here. So it actually does a good job. Now you can literally take this and post this as a comment on your code. Sometimes you can even ask the piece of the specific function or a specific block. Say, can you, like for example, can you add a detailed explanation on it? Will understand. Even the spell is mistake, it will know what we are asking. Really, can you add a detailed explanation of the author class and add it as a comment? So what I'll just say, why don't you just add it as a comment right here, right? So it will write here, certainly, blah blah. It actually didn't do what I'm trying to ask there, but as you can see, it is author class. So I can say preview. Okay, preview just scoring. So that doesn't work. It doesn't really add code. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to ask to write details here in the author class itself as a command. So it didn't work. That's why you have to a little bit tricky, see what it can does, what it doesn't do, and come up with your own prompt. And I think it does that several times. I try. Actually, it was very exciting when I saw that before. Let me try it again. Please add more details to this code as commands. Okay, now it knows this. It looks like today it's having a hard time. Must be the backend API. Anyway, so you get the idea. So you can write the comments here. You can actually ask Copilot to write more details about the code, where it will say, oh, this is the author class, it has that many properties. Then you can also, you can literally also, it will explain the whole method function, what the whole program does. That's what it can do. But let me ask one more thing here, final, and then we will be done and we'll take some of your questions. And so I'll say I am an author on of CSharp.com and I want to publish this code as a blog or an article on the site, on the website. Can you create a detailed article with code in it and explain it details? Thank you. Or I'll thank him this time because it looks like this morning Copilot is having a hard time. So I'll thank him for that. And looks like, okay, now it gives me a title, Working with Files in C Sharp. This article, we will explore how to work with files in C Sharp. We will explore setting up the author class. So it explains me the author class. What the classes are, right? Then so I'm gonna preview this. No, insert a new file. I want to copy it. I thought there was a copy feature somewhere. I can't really expand this. That's crazy. So I'll just copy the whole thing. Let's see. It doesn't look like it's letting me copy it. Interesting. All right. I'll just see what inserts a new class. What happened here? All right. This is what I'll do. I'm going to go open the GitHub window, chat window, because that's independent window. It's loading. I think there you go. So the embedded file may or not work. So what I'll do is I go here, right? So this is its own chat window. Hopefully I can copy this whole thing from here. Where the title go? No, let me ask it again. Can you write a detailed article about this code to publish on a website on CSharpCorner, CSharp.com. So yeah, let's get you can even ask, hey, can you also add keywords, add description to this article? It can give you more like, so there you go, right? So it wrote the whole article here. Everything is details here, right here. Creating an author class with default properties in C#. So now I can literally copy this whole thing. And let's paste this in Word doc for a second. Okay, what happened here? Interesting. There you go, copy. I'll just copy this, see what happens. Nope. Come on. Interesting. Anyway, looks like copy is not working, but interesting. Maybe something going on with my laptop. Yeah, okay, it's not even selecting the whole thing. It's running out of memory, looks like. I need to shut down my some of the things AI things here. But you get the idea. There is a I was able to quickly copy and paste, but literally you can ask it to write the all entire detail article for you, and it will help the entire your team actually to document the whole project. And when some new member joins your team, now out of sudden they can just read this and they will understand this. Now same thing could easily also apply if you are teaching, if somebody's a trainer or writing a documentation for students, or like a learn series, and they can say, okay, let me write something for you. Here's your project. Go through this project and read this. It's very simple and clean. Look how there's no way you and I would write this by hand, like it formatting also. Um, so it could be really useful when you're documenting your code. So with that said, that is all I'm going to cover today. It's a short episode, but I want to cover just one feature at a time. And let's see if you have any questions or feedback. Let me go back, stop sharing. Let me go back to the StreamYard. Mm, there you go. Okay, cool. Um, let's move the cursor AI for Copilot. My experience cursor AI is, yeah. And all right, guys. Okay, so that's good. That is all we have. Any comments? Looks like there's a other tool. Yes, this is not the only tool, right? Copilot is not only tool. There are hundreds of them out there almost. You can use Chat GPT for that. You can use Gemini, any, or even Perplexed. You can use any of those tools. Copy your code from there to there, and then ask it to, hey, can you comment my code? Can you write a detailed article more? So the point is that Copilot is already part of my Visual Studio, so I'm already using it. So with that said, hope you learned something. If you have not used the writing documentation using Copilot, uh, check it out, try it out, and let us know how you feel. Don't forget to join csharp.com and check out the new features. There's a lot more coming on csharp.com. Um, in the end, also, the last thing I want to say, there's more live shows we are announcing on csharp.com. We just announced a one show today on cybersecurity. There are AI shows coming up soon. It could be more than one. And I'm also going to launch something called Town Hall. It's will be a weekly show, weekly live podcast where we will talk about csharp.com features. What are we building? We what we want your feedback about those, where this whole platform is going. End of the day, what we want csharp.com to be is, if you are a developer, programmer, software engineer, tech lead, even tester, QA, anybody you are in software world, and if you want the one place where you go, one place, just one place you go, you get everything you need. Give me all the latest news about the tech, like give me news about Microsoft, Google, AI. Based on your settings and preferences, you will get all the latest up-to-date news every day on this csharp.com website. You will also get the content AI, and by the way, we are using AI behind the scene doing all the work. You will also get all the contents based on what you're trying to do. For example, if you are a senior developer and you are trying to become an architect, you will see the content that's actually focused around your growth. And that's why, please check, that's why we really want you to go check out csharp.com and check out the preferences. And then a lot more things coming on CSharpCorner.com or C Sharp. Even you go CSharp.corner today, CSharpCorner.com, you will be redirected to CSharp.com. We are actually gamifying the whole learning. We are gamifying the experience. So with that said, thank you so much for joining me this morning and your evening. Good night and have a good day if you are in the US. If you are in the east side of the world, have a good night. See you next week.